All right, great. Thank you so much. And good afternoon, everyone. Just a very quick introduction. My name is Alpha. I'm the Workspace customer engineering lead based out of Singapore, looking after the entire Southeast Asia region. So what I'm going to cover today is really about those new features we introduced over the past several months. First of all, last month, we announced the smart cameras on Google I/O. I'm not sure if you get a chance to watch the I/O or not, but the smart cameras is actually a new product experience that delivers the next evolution of collaborations for Google Workspace. We are actually bringing the content and connections that transform the collaborations into a richer, better experiences, and also making the collaborations more flexible and helpful. So between now and the end of this year, we're rolling out those cool new features. So let's take a look at a 1-minute video, which will introduce the smart cameras a bit further. Right, so just a quick recap for what we saw in the video. That includes the new interactive building blocks, like smart chips, templates, and checklists, which I do believe will connect people, content in advance into one seamless experience. And when you're using the @ symbol to mention a person in a document, the smart chips will show you additional information like the person's location, their job title, their contact informations, etc. We have also introducing the table templates and a meeting notes template in Google Doc. So the new document template for capturing the meeting notes will automatically import any relevant information from the calendar invitations, including the smart chips for attendees and also the attached file. So just remember, starting from today, you can actually just use the @ symbol in Google Docs, and then it will go ahead and show you a list of recommended people, files, and meetings for you. Well, meanwhile, you'll also be able to toggle between new views in Google Sheets to better manage and interact with your data. So our first launch will be the timeline view in Google Sheets. So if you're looking into the GIF that I'm showing to you right here, so this is how it might look like for the timeline view. So we believe the timeline view will makes you easier to track the task or to manage the projects. The next one, so we have also building the tighter integrations between our communication and collaboration tools. So you can pull content into conversations and conversations back into the content. So we are rolling out the abilities to present your content to a Google Meet call on the web from docs, sheets, or slides. I think previously when GoPomelo present the slides, they're actually using this feature already. So we are having this feature ready for our customers. And moving next, we will be bringing the Google Meet directly into Google Docs, sheets, and slides. If you're looking into the GIF that are showing up here, that if you want, you can actually just join to a Google Meet call from the Docs, sheets, and slides. So now let's just quickly go through some of the other features we launched over the past 3 months. Well, first of all, it's really about the new Google Meet user interface. Right? So we are rolling out a refreshed Meet user experiences for the desktop and the laptop, which we have updates for video feeds and also the viewing layout as well as the presentation experiences. Right? So check it out for this new layout in Google Meet. The second one is really about the background replace on Android. So earlier we launched these features for the Google Meet on web, right? Now we've also extended these features to the Android devices. So while starting from last month, you'll be able to see this new features. So if you didn't still not be able to see this feature, go ahead and update your applications on Android phone. And then you will be able to see these cool new features, the same experiences that you have on the web browser. So you can replace the background on your phone. And besides for the traditional static image, which we allows you to choose when for your background, we've also be able to allows you to use a video as your Meet background. I mean, this is actually one of my favorite features. So it will makes your background more vivid, right? So we will have 3 Google-made videos, a classroom, a party, and a forest. Now, moving forward, we are going to add more options for our customers. And then it's really about the Meet Quality Tour. So I'm not sure if you've been using the Meet Quality Tours before or not, but we do have enhanced features for Google Meet Quality Tours. One of the features that we just launched last month is really about be able to see and view for those people who fail to join the Google Meet, right? So those could be when people joining a Google Meet, which has already at its maximum participate limitations, which is 250 for the highest SKU, right? Or it could be the case that the participants trying to join a call, but it was denied entry by a participants already in the call, right? Or it could be the case that the user trying to join in the call, but it's timed out because nobody in the call responded. So doesn't matter what are those reasons causing the user fail to join, but that will be able to showing up on the new Meet Quality Tours. The next one is really about the the new features that we are going to let you know those advanced performance notifications on Google Meet, right? So more specifically, we will showing you the gentle notification. So when Meet detects a performance issues that is impacting the call quality, you will see a notification bubble describing the issues in the red dot on More Option menu on Google Meet. And then from there, users can select Troubleshoot and Help to find more information on the issue and troubleshooting guidelines, right? And also, we'll give you some troubleshooting recommendations. So based on the detected performance issues, users will now see personalized suggestions on how to improve the quality of their call. This can be used for in the situations where decreasing available processing resources, which is actually impacting the call quality, right? Such as your device automatically lowering CPU speed to extend the battery life. So we just give you some kind of recommendations for those issues. And last but not least is really about the quick actions. So you will also be able to see one-click change, which can quickly reduce the Meet resource consumption. Right, so these can include switching settings to use less CPU or network bandwidths, or adding closed captions to assist with understanding audios. Right. The next one is really about the present from Google Docs to the slides, which I covered earlier. This is actually a part of the smart canvas, right? So you can present with fewer clicks, and then once you're presenting, you can see your audiences and your content at the same time back into the Meet tab. The next one is, we've also allows you to be able to control your data usage on your mobile devices. So for both Android and iOS devices, we can limit the data use, we can conserve the battery power, we can also lower the demand on your phone CPU. So this is also a pretty cool feature for those people who's not using a high-perform iOS and Android devices. The next one is really about the new notification settings for chat and also for chatting Gmail. So more specifically, we will allow you to set up your own notification preferences. For example, you can set up the notify always, notify less, or totally turning off the notifications, right? And the next one is really about the new user interface for Google Chat. I'm not sure if you have seen this updates or not, but we've actually improved quite a lot for the Google Chat user interface. So a couple of changes we've been made. Number one is really about the search in Google Chat. So today, in the new Google Chat user interface, it will be much more easier for you to search across the rooms. So which is really useful, especially when you are joining a lot of rooms and you have a lot of one-on-one conversations with other colleagues. So it will be much more easier for you to search across all those rooms and direct messages, right? And also, we've adjusted quite a lot of it about the user interface that we have for any users. So the goal is really trying to give them a better user experiences. And keep in mind that the new changes also applies to the PWA, which stands for the Progressive Web Applications. So if you haven't used the PWA before, I will personally recommend you to have a try. That will give you a better, more enhanced user experiences. The next one is really about the suggestions in Google Chat, right? So, well, thinking about you are going to just jump into the next call. However, you're still in the previous meeting, right? So normally, one of the things you want to do is you need to tell the people that in the next meeting that you're going to running out of time, so probably will join a bit later. So now Google Chat will automatically give you the recommendations really based on your Google Calendar, right? So we hope this feature makes it easier to share information in the files before the meeting begins, right? So this is really the updates for Google Chat. The next one is really about new features which will allow you to save the photo from Gmail directly to the Google folder. So if you receive an email which contains a image, now currently we only support JPEG, but if you receive an email contains a JPEG attachment, we will allow you to save to the Google folders with one single click, right? So we are starting to see the new button once you receive the email with the image as an attachment. The next one is really about the new iOS DEP feature. So last year, we've actually already launched the iOS DEP. And well, first of all, the iOS DEP feature is really a feature which allows you to segregate the data between the corporate profile and your personal profile, right? Thinking about in Android Enterprise, you can create a work profile and in a personal profile, and you are not be able to copy and paste the data between those two profiles. So on iOS, we've also had a similar feature we call iOS DEP. Now, earlier last month, we've launched the new iOS DEP feature, which gives you a little bit more advanced, the protections in case the user trying to share the data between their work profile and the personal profile. So give an example, let's say the user download the Gmail applications on their mobile devices, on their iOS devices, right? So they can probably have both their Google Workspace account and their Gmail account. And also they may have installed the other third-party applications like WhatsApp or whatever other applications. So with this feature, we will block the user from copying the data from their corporate account to their personal Gmail account or to their third-party applications on their iOS devices. And also we will block the sharing as well with this new launch. The next one is really about new external label on the email body. So we understand that most of the time when any user trying to send an email to external people, we should give user a warning so that they will not unconsciously sending out some kind of a sensitive data, right? Well, even though we do have DLP, by the way, which can detect those sensitive data in case the user trying to share out those information to external people. But having this additional external label will also give the user a clear warning and telling them that while you're supposed to send an email to an external people, so making sure that you're not sending out some sensitive data, right? The next one is the customizations, the colors be able to apply to the folders on Google Drive. I mean, this feature was there for a bit while, but previously it was only possible to customize the color of folders in My Drive. But with this launch, we are extending this feature to share the drive and also extend this feature to shortcuts to the folders. So if you are using the share folder, you will now be able to customize the color of your folder, share folders, right? And also this, like I said, it applies to the shortcuts. If you're if you are a person who pretty much love to create, the shortcuts of your folders, now you'll be able to apply the colors as well. Well, personally, I like this features very well especially it will be much more easier for me to organize the data in Google Drive. But keep in mind, right? Organizing the data in a structured way is good. However, we do have a pretty nice search feature in Google Drive, and do leverage the search in case you want to find any information. And trust me, you will always be able to find the information that you want with the help of the search in Google Drive. This is also a feature I covered earlier. It's really about the new features that is coming to the Google Docs. And again, try to use these features as early as you can. I personally started to use this feature when I'm having the internal collaborations with my colleagues, right? It's so easy to create those task lists. It's so easy to reference to the meeting, right? And I don't really have to create a template anymore by myself because the feature itself will help me to automatically generate the template, right? So this can really save me a lot of time. And this is also another cool features is about the show editors. So one of the key benefits for using the Google Workspace is really about allow the users, multiple users to edit the documents simultaneously, right? This is what we call co-editing mode. Now, sometimes when a lot of people are making the changes on the document, you might be wondering what kind of changes that has been made by who, right? So earlier, we do have a history view, which allows you to see who made what changes. But now with this feature, we will make it more easier for you to see what type of changes that have been made by which employees, by which colleagues, right? So this is also a feature we've already launched. The next one is about the context-aware access for mobile devices. So context-aware access, or CAA, it is a feature which allows you to create granular access policies based on the contextual informations like IP address, geolocations, and device signals. Now, earlier when we launched this feature last year, it only applies to the desktop devices, right? So meaning that the policy will only apply to those who are using the Chrome browser on their laptop. Well, it doesn't matter what type of operating systems they're using. It will work for both Windows, Android, Linux, and Mac. However, that CA feature we launched last year doesn't work for the mobile devices. So with this new feature, we're just extending the CA policies to the mobile devices for both iOS and Android. So that means that, the organizations will be much more easier to apply a seamless policies across different type of devices that the users are using. And Google Vault for site. Yeah, so I think previously GoPomelo also introduced the Google Vault. So we do support quite a lot of different applications for Vault before, but we are extending the Vault capabilities to Google Sites, right? So now the administrator can actually just set up retention policies for Google Sites and be able to perform the search for Google Sites data. And further to that, you can export the Google Sites content if you want. All right, so the last two features I want to cover today is really about the cloud search. So we do have a couple of cloud search features we launched over the past 1 month. The first one is really about we improved the cloud search result with the contextual boost, right? With this feature, when you're calling the cloud search query API for third-party data sources, the contextual boost will the results data will be returned really based on those contextual attributes like location, department, or tenure, right? So you can actually just define the department attributes so that the results, for example, you're from a sales team, then when you search in a pitch deck, right, it will only or prioritize those pitch deck which is actually belongs to the sales department. So things like that. And last but not least is the VPC SC support for cloud search. We are having this feature to allow the cloud search to be able to use the VPC SC, right? So you can go ahead and use these controls to define who be able to access cloud search. When you define the policies, you can define the policies based on IP address. It also can be based on the user identity. It also can be based on the device type and operating systems, right? So this is really, we heard some of the feedbacks from the customers that they really want to restrict the access to the Google Cloud Search portal. So that's why we're bringing this VPCSC features to the Cloud Search. All right, that's pretty much all I have prepared today for the Google Workspace What's New over the past several months. I hope you found this session useful. With that, I'm going to hand over back to GoPomelo's team.